Monday, 8 p.m. time for my stream, time for Ask the Tournament Director and Talk with Thomas. Happy evening, hello everybody, welcome to my stream again. Now starting to be more regular and not like on Wednesday and not like for a short time. Holidays are over, summer is over, and hopefully I can run my stream now weekly, every time on Monday. Just if like business or something, water damage comes again, I maybe have to change. As usual, first thank you to my partners, to Poker Firma, Win Today Poker and River Stars. Thank you for supporting me for a very long time. What's new? At the end, not really good news. From my feeling, honestly, I don't think we will see a lot of live events in 2020. Like I said already many times, again, some live events cancelled, like Battle of Malta. Malta Poker Festival was already cancelled. Casino Austria cancelled their live events. Like we all heard, step by step, maybe PokerStars is not running any live events this year. Also, like EPT Prague is on danger to be cancelled. So let's see what will be with the WSOP in Vegas and the WSOP Europe. Everything was going online already, so all the big live events are now online. So I think I'm not very positive and optimistic, but I'm really optimistic and that we can relaunch all our live events next year, 2021, in March, April. So no good update from my knowledge, from my gossip, from my information. Myself, I cancelled some events. Also like Hungary is not closing the border, but controlling the border much more. Like France is on the red list of many countries, so a lot of players from France were traveling. Also, live events are on danger over there. So the numbers in Italy going up. So let's see. Czech Republic is still a paradise. King's Casino in Wrocław is still running the live events on a very high level. Congratulations and respect. But let's see how long the numbers in Czech Republic are fine. And I'm really expecting that, like we can see, all the politics, the restrictions coming step by step. So I think every country followed each other. So I think there will not be a second lockdown, but there will like kinds of events regulation. Yeah. Before I go to the topic, one very important thing. I have to show you something. Erich Kuhlmann, thank you for the socks. I received my socks. So I'm wearing them now the second day. There should be new energy. They activating all the nerves on the feet. So let's see. So far I don't see any changes to my health and life, but let's see in the future. So thanks, Eric. I received 2 pair. I should wear them now 5 days. So at the end, just 1 day. So at the moment, still fine. So I will update you in 5 days next week what my wife is saying if I'm wearing the same socks 5 days in a row. Yeah, maybe you missed it. Austrian Bounty Tournament in Bratislava was a real lot of fun. It was great to meet all my colleagues from the Concord like 20 years ago. Also, like many players from Vienna were following their stuff to say hello. So we had some drinks together. Was a nice tournament. I was the last longer bounty with the first entry, but still passed it quite soon. But at the end, it was a lot of fun, and maybe we do this again in the end of September. So just come together and celebrating. By the way, celebrating. Stolich Naya, my present from Martin, thank you. Like I said, my preferred to mix is normally Absolute Vodka, but Stolich Naya is not that bad. Yeah, apropos, say Riverstars Bratislava, you remember maybe the problem of chip dumping and collusion and disqualification, biggest poker scandal in the world. I learned that my cheers. Happy Monday. I learned that Twitch is deleting my videos because I'm not a VIP streamer right now. I'm not streaming too many hours. So I have to stream every day to get the status. My videos are deleted in 6 months, mine are very soon. But just one information. YouTube Live, I'm streaming also over there with I think 1 or 2 for a spectator there watching videos, but you can go there and watch all my videos. So some players asked me in Bratislava, Thomas, I was looking for the video but I couldn't find it. I was investigating, I couldn't find it myself, so I think they deleted from my Twitch account. But YouTube Live, if you go there, you can find all the videos over there and watch them again when you want. Okay, then let's go in the topic for today. Austrian poker. Yeah, nice picture. Why this picture? Maybe you remember 100 years ago there was like in the US the prohibition of alcohol. So there was no alcohol allowed, and what were the consequences? So much alcohol was drunken as never before. Same situation, I would say, is in the moment in Austria. The Concord closed, we all know it. Casino Austria tried to cover a little bit of poker with some cash game and small tournaments, but also Casino Austria following all the restrictions of COVID-19. So at the end, the poker is not like really running good, and especially low stakes tournament and also like lower cash games at the moment are not running very well. So we have a lot of home games, I would say, let's call it home games, to run in Vienna. In my announcement, you know, Molly's game, I think it was a similar situation. She was organizing high stakes poker in the US, but in the end, like in Vienna, we are not that close to run 10,000 or 250,000 euro buy-in cash games, but maybe it will come very soon. But in the end, it was like the same procedure like that. Now we have a lot of home games in Austria. People ask me, Thomas, what's your opinion? What will be the future about this poker in Austria? As now there's so many home games running in Vienna and in Austria. I would say it's legal, not legal. I think there's a long discussion all the time, because I had the discussion myself. If I play poker with my friends, I can do what I want. It's legal. I got the answer, no, it's not. Why not? As soon as the buy-in and the loss and let's say the value of the game is too high, and people losing more than they can afford in comparison to their salary, it's not a friendship poker game anymore, and then it's like starting to be illegal. This was the argument I heard. So in the end, as soon the game is higher and it's not all your friend, I think it's not legal anymore. So I just tell you, just be aware, you know, that's not always the best. The bad thing that we have a lot of like, let's say like legal, not illegal home games in Vienna. The good thing, I think this could be the chance to bring poker legal and officially back. Because let's say when 1993 the Concord was opening the doors, there was one guy very happy, and it was the highest police officer in Vienna, because he was coming to us and say, thank you that you opened, because now all these games, illegal games in Vienna, are broken down. You know the 69, I think you know the 69 position, but there was a 69 house in Vienna in the red light district, and they were playing Stoß. Like everybody who's living in Austria and Vienna know the game Stoß. At the end, to make it simple, it was a very, very high game, and Stoß is just like high card. So at the end, you just pick 2 cards, you're betting on the cards, and the higher card is losing or winning. This depends on some different rules, and this game was really high. And with the Concord, all of this was dying. So the police was happy to say, now we don't have that much illegal games anymore. So I think this is a possibility that the politics have to react one day because we have too many home games. And I'm convinced, as there's no really regulations, rule, tax, etc., 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 there will be some more troubles coming up. There's some razzias already and investigation, but I think there will be more problem of this, like some people losing too much, borrow money to some others, other people will be jealous because they're running 2 tables, I'm running only 1 table. So I think this will cause the troubles in the future, and then I'm quite sure the politics have to react, either control it more and shut everything down, or on the other side, they have to give back a poker license to offer also like low stakes and daily tournaments. I understand 100% Casino Austria, a lot of people complaining why Casino Austria is not offering poker, why Casino Austria is not doing more. It's a different kind of structure and organization. It's not a poker club, it's a full casino. Also like the employees earning different kind of money, so it's very difficult to offering and run 10, 20, 30 euro tournaments, which you can calculate at home, very simple. You need 10 dealers, you play a 30 euro tournament, and afterwards you have 1 cash game or 2 cash games, so at the end that's not profitable at all. So that's why I think this, with the structure of Casino Austria, it makes no sense to offer like tournament like this. But as I said, there's a chance to do it. They also asked me, like when I played in on the bounty tournament and have like some Austrian players left and right to me, we were talking about the situation, and some players say they don't want to play private games, they want to wait until official casinos opening. And understood, because like the rake, I heard a lot of games, the rake is very high, much higher than it was before. The funny thing is, nobody complaining about the rake now. When the Concord was there, or official tournament, or like EPT, people were always complaining about the rake and the fee. Now with this home games, nobody is complaining about fee anymore. So at the end, well, a very funny situation. But at the end, I would say just be aware. If you play in private clubs or home games, just be aware where you're playing, with whom you're playing. And if you know the operators, then it's saying fine. But I just would really strongly recommend not to play in any home games you don't know yourself much better. And and the other way, also like, which is like I think a chance. We know it from the casino business already. The casinos in Czech Republic with the highest revenue. We don't talk about King's Casino, but still a kind of King's Casino, are the border casinos to Austria and Germany. So at the end now, I think the poker is going to Slovakia, to Czech Republic. Slovakia and Bratislava is not the hotspot of Concord Card Casino and Montesino stuff. Everybody was going there, to operating there, helping there, being there. So all this spreading out now at Bratislava, and everybody trying now to make the business to Slovakia. Now there's 3 casinos operating and fighting for the business. In the Czech Republic, close to Linz, there's 1 casino. King's Casino is on the border of Germany. So in Haugsdorf, there's a new poker club. So that everybody thinking and try to get the business from Vienna. So I think this should also be kind of a reaction for the politics. One time just to think about, I have a good idea. We could try to keep the Austrian players in Austria and earning tax. Good idea. So maybe one day they will regulate the poker business much, much more. And as long as they don't, we have like Chicago, not 1917, we have Chicago 2020 prohibition, and a lot of games in Vienna and Austria. And I'd say back really like 30 years ago, it was very similar. So I'm really looking forward what will be the consequences in the future. I don't believe that situation will last too long like it is right now. I think there will be some consequences, positive or negative, for the poker market. But I'm always very optimistic that one day poker can be back in a different kind of way. Also Casino Austria with the new owner Saska Group. As we all know and we heard, the Saska Group is more focused and interested in lotteries and in the online business. So they don't care that much about live casinos. Also like it's like it's negative, but at the end maybe it's positive for the poker, because like if Casino Austria has no interest too much on this kind of business, maybe they're also not against, to give away one poker license and say, okay, then should someone come and run poker as he wants. So let's see what's going on. The same topic, one player asked me last time, I heard in Switzerland and Germany the poker association are that strong. Why it's not possible in Austria? Why not? It's very simple. Why we don't have this strong poker organization and poker clubs in Austria? Because we had 27 years the Concord Card Casino, and if you offer that we had 12 casinos from Concord. We had in Vienna like 3 other clubs, in Salzburg other clubs. So everywhere like more poker clubs. So there's no need to offer poker association. I was like also investigating. We had the Vienna Poker Association, and they run their last tournament. Let's see. I noted it. Yeah, the last live event for the Vienna Poker Sports was 2015 live. In 2018 online. Same for the Austrian Poker Sports Association, was 2018 the last event. Also like the Concord, when I was manager, we founded the EPSA, the European Poker Sports Association, but the goal was not to run a poker club or poker association. The goal was just to legalize poker and make it a sport and skill games and not a game of luck. So that was the reason. So that's why in Austria we are kind of like, let's say, kind of weak because of the poker association and poker clubs. In Switzerland and Germany it's completely different. First to Switzerland. Switzerland has a lot of poker clubs because since 2018 they're kind of more legal. So they're allowed to open poker clubs, they're allowed to offer different tournaments, and so now it's like, I would say, it's a second poker boom in Switzerland. Because like every day I get the info that a new poker club is opening somewhere. So Switzerland is now paradise of poker clubs, and there's also like 2 organizations. One is the old one, and the new one is the SPSA, the Swiss Poker Sports Association, which I'm also a member of it, and we talked already in the stream about. And this association has a lot of goals and also like a budget for it. And so I really hope and be optimistic that this kind of association will be successful. The goal is very simple, to have one organization like the UEFA or like the FIFA, and to put all the poker clubs together in one association, and then they will be really powerful, and I think also then they really can reach some goals. Germany, kind of similar. They're running a lot of poker clubs at the end to run satellites for real big poker casinos and poker clubs, like the German Poker Tour is supported by a lot of poker clubs. They're running a lot of like satellites. There's the Deutsche Poker Sportbund, the DBSB, where's like Stefan Kallhammer and Jan Heitmann, quite well-known people involved. So also they're running a serious business and try to organize organization and tournaments. Also like they try to make it international. There's the IFBM, the poker match. It was like the International Sports Poker Federation, now changed to the match sports, the match poker. Match poker is like a tournament where every player has to play with the same cards, and this, not everybody knows, but the first tournament like this, it was called sync poker, so synchronization poker, because every player on 4 tables, every seat receiving the same card. It was called sync poker, and the Concord and me was the first who ran this tournament. We did it live, and it was like a huge work because we have to shuffle plenty of decks for 4 tables, all the same. So we have to have like a shuffleboard board with all the cards separated. So the dealer has always to take next deck number 1, deck number 2, deck number 3, and we have to play at the same time. And we did this like 2 or 3 times to shuffle all the players. So everybody has to play different positions, different players, and at the end, like you play just for points and for statistics. So at the end, which player losing or winning less is the winner. And our tournament, a player won the tournament who didn't have the big stacks, but at the end, like he just played this hand in the optical way. Match poker doing this online. I'm still convinced, honestly, that they copy and paste and steal my script. I found my script. I still had it at home. I think it was like 2005 or 2006. I have to take a look. 2007, I left the Concord. So this was Sync Poker. I tried it with Peter Zanoni to protect this game, but everybody told us, forget it. It's just expensive to protect this game. It makes no sense because if you change just a small thing, you can't protect it anymore. So at the end, it was a fun, but at the end, like it was never a business because it was just too much work. Online it's working, but on the other side, it's not. It's kind of a skill game, but it's not exciting enough to play poker. And the winner of the tournament is not the cheap leader. The winner of the tournament is not the biggest stack. The winner of the tournament is just the player maybe who played it in the kind of best way. And it's also possible that the player who lost the most still is the winner because he lost with these cards less than all the others. So that's why it's like was a very funny experiment, but at the end, like it was not like for business you really can't use it. But it was one of my projects years ago, Sync Poker, and I was the first one who tried this, and it was my idea, and I'm still proud of it. Also, like I didn't make any business out of it, but sometimes we have to be proud of some achievement, also like if they make no sense. So yeah, that's the situation, Poker Association in Europe, and back what I had like in some streams. As long as we don't have a big European or world association for poker and money behind and television and mainstream, all this poker association stuff won't make really big sense because like poker is a game for money. Poker is a game for to be proud and to win something, but the end like it's not like you're not like in the also like imagine football without any profit. I don't think they will think about to make Messi a 700 million euro contract if you want to buy him. So if money and mainstream TV is involved, it could be successful. Without, it's just for fun and like players, but still a good way to play poker with your friends. Okay, then let's swap to one ruling. Very funny and good ruling. What's the limit? When players are celebrating their winnings, celebrating a pot, celebrating a bet beat, just celebrating a hand in poker. What's the line, what's the poker etiquette when a tournament director should jump in and stop the guy? So this is a very difficult question. And you see the question mark and now you see one player. Now you can think about, if you know this player, and you can think about what the hell should I do with this player. This comes back to me to, you can think about, I will talk about. So we have many and several players in the poker business like Tony G, Phil Hellmuth. They're very noisy, very loud. For example, I love Devilfish and Marcel Luske. They were singing with a guitar in the live poker room during a tournament and singing Elvis Presley songs, you know, and there was a lot of good atmosphere, a lot of fun. And we have some players that were really loud and really celebrating their pots on the poker table and their winnings. So, this player with the question mark, if you don't know him, maybe you heard about him, and now I would recommend shut your eyes. It could be a little bit loud and then maybe you know who the player is. So enjoy it. Tarzan. Very simple. So who the fuck is this player? This player is Robert Zipf. So Nickname, surprise, surprise, nickname is Tarzan. So this is like a very, very nice, poker player. And his attitude was, when he was winning a big pot, he was just standing up on the floor and playing Tarzan. Yeah, it works, it was really, really fun. At the bigger tournaments, when I was tournament director, he asked me. He was just looking, we just looked at each other, and he was saying like, and I say, go for it. And then, Tarzan. And because it's so nice, just one more time. That was not himself. I couldn't find any video with him, but I just found Johnny Weissmuller, who is one of the most famous Tarzans, and his shout. So at the end, like really, really, really amazing. So this is Robert Zipp. So I have more examples. One example was PCA High Roller. So it's like if you play really for huge money, there could be a lot of fun on the tables. So Robert Brandis, King
so Alberto really up against it here.
And he hit the one outer because like one player folded pocket fours.
Oh, now we're gonna hear some celebration.
Lika would have flopped a set of fours here.
He certainly made the right play, but wow.
Oh, it is a hard.
Scott Seaver get more optimistic.
Seaver has some additional outs. Needs to catch a 10 or a heart.
Come on, let me do laps around this building.
Scott desperately looking for that heart.
Run laps around the building.
Well, they're getting a little into it here.
Ready to do my laps. I'm gonna start running and do my victory laps.
Oh boy.
Scott Seaver wins the pot.
He's doing his Umberto impersonation here. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. Good.
Yeah. Happens on the PCA, and honestly, just for my ruling, never ever I will stop this. Never ever. As long the player are not insulting somebody else, or as long the player is not getting too personal, or as long the player is not doing this non-stop, too long, or every hand. But this is the missing tool I think we're missing in poker now sometimes, of TV shows and fun in poker to have videos like this. But these two examples, Tarzan and like the PCA Roberto, was just like really fun, enjoying. But there also like one example, which is maybe a negative one, but still just amazing to look. And we have a lot of videos from him, and I think he's the best. Maybe not in poker, but the best in this performance.
I'm the best! The best! Yes! The best! Yes! The best!
Wow.
Bralux, you bluff me, huh? The Belarusian, huh? Not good enough for me in cash games, buddy. Gonna destroy you!
Nice.
Why you bluff me? You got a 7, get a queen. He get a queen, he get me. I pay. Ah, you bluff me? No. Yana, we're going shopping, buddy. Shopping, beautiful, nice job.
I didn't know if they were going shopping really the next day, but it could possible. But here's really borderline. But honestly, it was a €1 million pot. It was the Triton series and cash game. The floor, Luca Vivaldi, one of the best floor and tournament directors in the world, was behind, watching this scene. But how you can stop this? This is emotion poor, this is TV poker, this is show, what we need, And the moment, I think we're missing character like this, And that was missing in poker, like when I talked about TV shows, mainstream fun. Imagine poker TV. It's boring, it's really boring. At the end, it's like this. this is poker nowadays. A new player watching poker the first time. Do you really think he's interested in watching like bot odds and snap calls and gut shot and whatever you can talk about, and 3-bet and 4-bet and shove it and fold equity? No, they will just go to the next channel and they will watch any senseless series, you know. But if a player, you know, watching like a video like I've shown you, it's not a matter if it's poker or not poker. It's just the show around, you know. It's just like they see 1 million euro bot and you see just one guy talking, I'm the best. On the other side, it's BC, a high roller. So it's like, it was like a 25 or 50k tournament. And they're celebrating and they hug each other, you know. This is what we have to transmit to the world, to everybody, the mainstream. That poker is also a game of fun and a game of socializing and of emotions, you know. And not only because like sitting there with mathematics skills and waiting for a miracle, you know. And let's go to the ruling. As I say, I would never ever, one of these 3 examples, will never ever stop them. I just will watch them smiling and just wait until it's over. And if it's not over, then okay, I have to stop it. But I won't stop it before. And if you see the DDA rules, which is like worldwide, the rule number 1 now, etiquette violations. No? There's nothing written from like you're not allowed to celebrate. There's some rules online, some house rules, you know. You should not celebrating too much. But what is celebrating too much, you know? Because of my tournament ruling, I lost a job as tournament director in 2007 or 2008. It was in Italy. Italy? It was Italia, Bella Italia. And it was a very well-known family tournament organization. I don't want to tell you any names, but it was the father with the son. So they hired me as a tournament director for many tournaments. It was the start of poker in Italy. We were like in San Remo in Venice, and this tournament happens in San Remo. We're getting close to the bubble, and one player hit just a 2-outer on the river. So Italy, emotions, nice atmosphere, San Remo, old casino. What happened? The player just celebrated, was shouting, laughing, and hit the table one time and just yes. So not yes, si, bella. I should stop him? No, I just waiting there, and then like after 1 minute I told the players, okay, please calm down, what is over. And the operator was coming to me on the floor, looking at me and shouting on me, Thomas, what's this? Why the player shouting? You should stop him. He's not allowed. Yeah, next time we have to disqualify him. And he was really shouting at me like for 1 minute, you know. So I was waiting until it was finished. Then I would follow him in the office. In the office, I told him like, it's your opinion, my opinion. But if you hire a tournament director, and the tournament director is responsible for the procedure and for the performance of the ruling of the tournament, you have to respect his decision. Otherwise, you don't have to hire him. And one thing, never ever in a tournament room talk to me like this in the presence of all tournament players. I give you the respect and you should give me the respect. Okie dokie. Back to my tournament. And now it's like, I would always say like, I use Murphy's rule for all these situations like this, and it was Murphy's rule. What happened? On the bubble, same player, same table, similar situation. He was all in and he hit on the river and he was cheering again. You can't imagine how fast, you know, and mid-average guy could run and shouting again, and he wanted to disqualify the player. Okay, I stopped him. Okay, situation finished. The player apologized, and no surprise, it was my last tournament for them in Italy. Finito Bella Italia. Okay, I don't regret that much. It's just like over and out, and honestly, like I would always decide and rule the same thing. I think it's just like emotion, and sometimes you play for it for a lot of money. So I think it's just acceptable that it will be funny like this. So so DDA, everything is doing the same. There's nothing special, and I said, you know, before sleeping on the table, I prefer shouting and having fun, but you have to respect the rules and the etiquette and not insulting, swearing, or like be too personal to the other player. But also like with a little respect, I think it will be still fine. And then we jump now to the last point for today, for tonight, ruling. We discussed it the last time. It was like in a multi-table tournament, sorry. Maybe it was also a multi-day tournament. It was on the LEPT, a very funny situation that a player made a bet and he wanted to call, and he put exactly the amount of the chips in. Also like with like I said, 225 chips, 500 chips, 200 chips, and just put the chips in. Then the next player announced race, and now they found out, that this player mixed up the 100 and the 5k chips, which were very similar in the color. And now, according normally to the black and white reading rules, the tournament rule, it's like a multi chips, so the race has to be valid at the end. So the floorman was called over. The floorman was the tournament director himself, Mike Ward, who was like kind of a founder of also the LEPT and the tournament director for BC LEPT. And what would be your ruling? So my ruling would be exactly the same like Mike Ward did. Yes, there's a black and white ruling written, multiple chips, but we have many times as tournament directors, me for 100% and a lot of my colleagues, we try to decide in the sense of the game. Here, we don't rate this as angel shooting or he did this by purpose. We just 100% sure, 99% sure that this player didn't want to raise because the player before made a bet 750, so he just counted chips and put exactly 750 in. But he messed up 200 chips with 5k chips, so at the end the bet was like then 10,000 something. So at the end the tournament director ruled, in the sense of the game. This question was also like on the PokerStars blog, and some players were like say, but it's a rule, it's a rule, it's a rule. Yes, it's a rule, but honestly, like it's a rule, but we should not always rule because of a ruling. It's written there, but at the end, the most important rule at the end of poker, and my favorite rule, is like DDA. Rule number 1. The best interest of the game and fairness are top priorities in decision making. And this is like unusual circumstances occasionally dictate that common sense decision in terms of fairness take priority over technical rules. Floor decisions are final. So at the end, it means I can decide whatever I want. And in this case, it's very simple. Yes, there's a rule, but sorry, I'm convinced that this guy want to call. There was no bad consequences, so that's why I rule this is a call. WCP has a similar, but not rule number 1, but they call it rule number 56. I like it much more as rule number 1, but at the end here's written the same. And the last sentence I love most. And it's just like, it's not only the WCP tournament director, but it's for every tournament director, reserves the right to overrule any floor decision. Cheers. Best decision in the world, that tournament director always can overrule the other floors. I didn't do it a lot of time in my career, only if it's really necessary. And that's why I always recommend to my floor staff, if you have a ruling which is not standard, always call a colleague and consult to each other, and then you make a common decision together. And if it's not clear between both of you, call the tournament director, then you're always like super safe. My best rule number 1 was in the Concord. I was manager and it was maybe like in 2005, 2004, long time ago, more than 15 years for sure. There was one player who didn't accept my ruling. He wanted to see some ruling for the cash games. So he wanted to see the written rule. Okay, I showed him online. No, I want to see it written. I want to see the written rule. Okay, I was going to the cashier, and beside the cashier there was like the house rules, 40, 50, 60 rules. So I took the picture with all the rules on it, walked into his table, showed him this board, like a menu for the restaurant, and said, this is the rule. But that's not clear, blah, 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 blah. It was like a really 1 hour discussion with him on the cash game. And finally, I told him, okay, sir, I tell you something. Now, I decide after ruling number 1. Here, read the rule number 1 and please accept it. He read it, looked at me, and it was solved. In the end, he didn't say any word anymore because rule number 1 is like, the decision of the management is final. Done. So, sometimes you can also abuse the tournament rule number 1 if a player just not stopping to argue with you or just asking questions non-stop. And then it's the best way just to say, sorry, rule number 1, and goodbye and finish. Yeah. So that's the rule number 1, which is still like just also like there to protect the stuff, because like a floorman can also like could make a wrong decision. So it's always good to have the tournament director at the last and final decision. This is the hierarchy of poker, so you can overrule and make hopefully the right decision for the floorman. Yeah, this was the rulings. Sometimes you can really Google online and you will find a lot of like funny decisions online. And then I really welcome you to ask me some questions. Also, one player in Bratislava said, Thomas, I like your stream. I also watch it afterwards in the video. And always have some questions, but I'm afraid to ask you. I say, why are you afraid to ask me? You can ask me any question in the chat. Yeah, but then you're maybe too busy. And say, but then text me before Messenger. Yeah, last time I asked a friend of me who's a floorman, I don't want to disturb you in a chat or on Messenger. So really, that's my part of my business. That's part of my stream model. That if you are not, if you have an uncertain decision, ruling, home game with your friends, or you have a general question about the poker or the gaming industry, just please don't hesitate to ask me any question, anytime, and to text me. Best is like for sure on Messenger on Facebook, or like on Instagram, or you have my number, you can also like text me on WhatsApp. If I don't have any time or if I have no interest, I just won't answer you. So at the end, it's very simple. If I have no time or busy, you don't get an answer. But this was one of the reasons why I started the stream, because I always get several and regular questions from the community. So I decided to make a stream just to discuss this topic live on the stream. Yeah, we're coming to an end. Which I'm still missing is like question my chat. I think I have to investigate more on Twitch, how I get more interested people. But I still love my stream. I still love to talk about the topics. I'm a person who like to talk. So at the end, it's still a funny thing. Yeah. What's going on the next week? Still busy week. I still have to move. My house is under construction. My apartment is sold. I'm living in a very small apartment in Vienna. Business is still like that. And also like a lot of the people from my business, from live events are struggling. Like all of us, we didn't earn really any money since March. And many of my colleagues now start to change their jobs and their profession. So, for example, one Nico Hara, who was here like last time in the live Zoom meeting, who like EPT tournament director, and his tournament director also like for a lot of tournaments in Ireland. He starting now a kayak school. A lot of female dealers are now being like try to be influencer on Instagram, selling cosmetic and beauty products. So at the end, a lot of people now try to find another income, and yeah, and I think if there's no change until like hopefully March, I really think March, April 2021 in spring, I think the live events will back. If not, I really think live events will be struggling to find dealers. I know that like in Bratislava, in Vienna, in Switzerland, also in Kings, they're all struggling to find dealers. So people are complaining about live events, there are no dealers, but I think that a lot of the staff now just focus on different jobs because they say, okay, I can't earn enough with live events. Yeah, and then I think the business lost a lot of like very good stuff, very good dealers, very good floors. They just swapped their job, and also like casino business is not safe anymore. In England, in UK, they're struggling. I think there was like a news from MGM Group in Vegas. They're thinking about to fire, I think, 15,000 people. And I know the brother of a very good friend of mine is a manager, a high position manager at the MGM Vegas, and they have really troubles over there. Also like for security, because the people going on strike, they get on panic, you know. So really, the very strange situation in Vegas. Instead of millions of tourists, they just have a couple of thousands of tourists. And you can imagine the costs of Vegas, the cost of the hotel, of the old casino business. So I think all the tourism and gastronomy and hotel business is really hit very strong. And also like everybody saying, casino, easy money. Yeah, at the moment, I think with COVID, it's far away from easy money. And fingers crossed that instead of like non-stop 000, there will be coming back black or red coming back, and we don't have to say rien ne va plus. So I'm still optimistic that everything will come back, but we have still to be patient, and step by step we will go there again. Good. That's it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining me. I wish you a very nice Monday evening. Maybe we see us in Bratislava, or we see us in Prague for the progressive knockout high roller, or maybe we can play some Twister on window day. If you're Austrian or playing Austrian window day, don't forget, until mid of September, so 2 weeks more, you can win always 5,000 euro with Twister as a special Twister Summer Cup, and also like maybe you can play against me one day on the Twister. Good. Then, good night, good evening, take care, fingers crossed, stay focused and be optimistic and positive, and I'm quite sure everything will be over, and then like next year we'll be non-stop drunken and celebrating live poker is back. Cheers and goodbye.